Okay, you guys, so we are back with another video. I want to talk about Fantasia and her husband, right? Because Fantasia dad came out and her father is accusing her husband of swindling her money, okay? Fantasia's dad said that monies have been missing. I did a video earlier when the video is titled Fantasia responds to her dad accusations of her husband, stealing from her. So her husband, Kendall Taylor, he did a video which was posted on Shade Room, and he was talking about his accomplishments and all of that in that video. We're going to talk about that in another video because I identified something. Like I was trying my best not to be messy because even though something is on the internet, at times I believe that some things deserves to stay off the internet because I get what her father is saying, and while I believe him 110% especially ever since she has spoken, I believe the father more. And I'm asking myself, is Fantasia really okay? Is she listening to herself? Did she really think about what she posted on the internet before she posted it? I don't know if anyone picked up on the fact that she's saying, how is it that her husband, who she basically calls her husband her king, she can call her husband whatever she wants to. That's not, what pulled my attention to her comment. She said that, how is it that, her king, who...
Nikki, are they real? And she said,
why did I have to go on President Donald Trump? So basically she said her husband is her king who is the president of their companies. How is it that her king can steal money if he's the president? And I'm like, really? Listen, there's this discussion, and I don't know if you guys have heard of it before or anything like that, but it has long been said that you need to really look out for the church girls, women who have been cultured in church, because oftentimes they're one of two things about them. People always say this. They always say it's either they are the devil or they're so sanctified that they're easily manipulated. And when I saw that comment that the Shade Room posted from Fantasia, I said Fantasia is so sanctified. It seems as though she can be easily manipulated. And I'm looking back at some of Fantasia's comments, just general how she speaks, how she delivers, and she seems to be such a saint, such a really sweet person. And when you see people like those, you tend to want to be fearful for them, because she's saying that if he's the president, how can he steal? Yes, honey, he can. Especially if he's the president, he can actually steal from you. And the thing is that women who are in places of financial stability, if they're not good with their finances, like if you're not good at accounting, if you're not checking your books, and if you're not if you don't have the proper people in place to ensure that everyone is being checked, including yourself and your husband, to ensure that there's clarity and transparency, yes, the president, who is your husband, can rip you off, and before you know it, you have nothing left. Now, he's saying also that he's the one who enforced a prenup. He was the one who asked for a prenup. Prenups mean nothing these days. Prenup means absolutely nothing these days. And I think this is something that all women should learn ever since the beginning of time, from Tina Turner, Mariah Carey, who else are we missing out of? Madonna. All those women, they had prenup too. They had prenup, and they still had to pay multi-million dollars to their ex because even though there's a prenup, there's also a law, and the law enforces that whatever you obtain during your time of marriage, whatever you achieve is not just yours, but it's for yours and yours. So a prenup, this man is smart. He seems to be really smart. And when Fantasia dad spoke, I said, you know what he's saying, it could be factual, but I also remember that he sued her a couple years ago. It was in 2006 for $10 million. And I said, I believe that what her father is saying has some amount of truth to it. It doesn't matter what his motives are, right? She also posted a mugshot of her dad. I mean, game recognizes game. So when she posted that mugshot of her dad, for me, that is confirmation that the father recognizes the husband because he's the same thing. And if your father is telling you that your husband, you need to watch him. You need to listen to your father, whether you like your father or not. Because when she did that, the only thing I'm realizing is that the father recognizes game because the father plays the same level of game. So anyone who is paying attention and trust and believe, when these two eyes tells you something is going on, and I'm telling you that she needs to be careful, you best believe she needs to be careful. And if I'm telling you she's in trouble with that man, you best believe she's in trouble with her husband. I'm not telling you because I just want to get involved in people's business. Like, I smelled at the moment the dad said it, but I'm like, you know what? I don't want to talk about it. It's family's business. I think the father should have tried to get in communication with other members of the family and try to have some communication with her to say, get an auditing team, start auditing your business. But when Fantasia came out and said, if I'm the owner and my husband, my king, is the president, who is the president of my companies? How can the president steal? And I'm like, oh, so Fantasia is one of those girlies. Through sanctification, she can be easily manipulated through God and the church. And I see it. I didn't see it so clear, but through our own words, I can tell you that her father is not lying. Through our own words, through our own actions, the father is not lying about the husband. And when the husband came and
when I met my wife, I was trying to...
The husband came out and the internet is saying, oh, he loves her and he's posting his degrees and he's saying he has his businesses and his achievements and all of that and all. That doesn't mean shit. Okay? That doesn't mean shit. This reminds me of when I was telling you all about Cardi B and Stefan Diggs, and I said to you guys, look out for it. And you guys were telling me that, oh, if Stefan Diggs disrespects Cardi B has good money to fall back on. And I said good money doesn't prevent you from stepping in shit. This is another primary example. She's one of those sanctified girls who's been manipulated through her beliefs. She's getting manipulated through her beliefs. I believe her father more now than ever. Know that she has spoken. Know that the husband has spoken. I believe the father because the father is game and game recognizes game, the husband. I believe the dad. At first I was like, yeah, Fantasia's dad is messy. He shouldn't be doing this. He should have kept his mouth shut. He should have spoken to a few family members who are willing to listen to him. But when she came out and said, how can the president, I said, okay, that's confirmation. And now the husband, the father is right. The father is right, but it's none of my business. But look out for it. The father is right. She's going to come back crying. She is going to cry about what this man does to her. Maybe not now, but in a few years. Mark my word. She will come to her senses. Mark my word.